Good morning, guys. My name is Vinod, and today I'm going to talk about something interesting, a journey from my own personal life of being a heavy smoker for many years and how I managed to quit smoking. And it's been more than 120 days, but I'll give you a little more background as we go. But I thought this will be useful to a lot of smokers who want to quit but who are struggling to do that. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to tell you how addiction works, how the brain receptors, etc., operate. And I think you should check a better video for that. But in this video, I'm going to be hopefully motivate you that if I can do it, most likely you can too, right? So just to give a background, I'm going to turn 46 in about 10-12 days, and I've been smoking since 1997. That would be about 27 long years. And in the last, I think 3-4 years or maybe 5 years, I was very heavy smoker, almost like what people call as a chimney, easily 20 to 25 or even 30, 35 on some days. That's been the pattern. How heavily addicted I was to smoking. I really loved it, to be honest, just like most smokers do, right? Um, and then I over the last couple of years, I also tried to change myself in the sense that I really thought I should quit, or rather, I was blaming myself on why did I even pick this habit. I probably could have stayed a teetotaller, right? And eventually, I got into working out regularly, starting to get into a healthier and wealthier self, which I would recommend to a lot of you. And this thought has been coming through the mind in my mind that okay, someday you should really quit. You can't keep smoking at the rate at which you are. You're getting older, and you need to start focusing on your own health and mental wellness. And so when I remember the day on April 20, April 20 evening, and I had a game of poker with my friends. I came home. I There was the last cigarette in my packet. I just lit it, smoked it. Halfway through the cigarette, I was um, telling my wife that I'm gonna probably stop. She laughed as usual because I've said this many times before, and I said, "Yeah, no harm trying, right? At least I'm gonna try." And statistically, most smokers who have quit, you can check out the data online that they've at least tried 2-3 times really hard before finally ending up quitting. So it's not so when people laugh at you and you say I'm going to quit, it's justified. It's very difficult. But I thought, why not give it a try rather than not trying and continue to smoke, right? So that's when I started, and so what I'm going to talk to you about how the first few weeks after quitting smoking are, because I know that if you are a smoker, I exactly know what you're thinking about, how you're going to feel, the fear of missing out, all the every single situation is encompassed by you smoking in that particular spot, right from the tea shop to the airports to the morning meetings and everything, the wake up time, your balcony. So I understand what it's going through, but I'll also talk a little bit of what the physiological effects of what I went through, how I tried to overcome it, and what were some substitutes that I did in the first few weeks to make sure I can slowly wean away from the addictive effects of nicotine and smoking, right? So the first few days, and I would say even leading up to a few weeks, is going to be extremely hard. I'll prepare you for it, but you don't have to worry too much. You know that there have been millions of people who have quit smoking, and so if they have done it, you can do as well. And take me as an example. I was a chimney, smoked a lot, 2-3 packs a day minimum, and I was able to quit. uh, so you can do it too, just trusting yourself, right? Okay, I'm going to go through a lot of pain. There's no escaping from it because all the nicotine that you've taken for years is in your bloodstream, it's in your brain. The acetylcholine receptors are active, so that's why it makes it very hard. So that's understandable. Now, the effects that I felt were mostly in the mouth, the gums, and the lips, right? That I think those, I don't know what's the scientific reason behind it. Your teeth, the lot of pain is actually in the gums and in your mouth. Or I think it's the withdrawal symptom of not having to suck and blow, right? Maybe it's that muscle memory or whatever. scientifically someone can explain better, but that's what I went through. There was a lot of pain in the gums, in the sense that I thought the gum was probably repairing itself after getting harmed by smoking your mouth and everything. That I think everything was getting repaired is what I felt. And I thought to myself, how was the first few times when I smoked? You remember the burning sensation that we had in our inside of the cheeks and the mouth when we smoked the first time? That was body's reaction to, oh man, you're getting in something toxic and it's really hurting me, right? Now you have to go through the same pain in the reverse process. There's no escaping it, and that's what you'll go through. So what I did is I took a lot of nuts to office. The pistachios, badams, and cashew nuts, and a bunch of other things, even raisins, dry raisins, etc. So I used to just keep munching whenever there was a temptation to have a smoke, and also drink a lot of water. These two things kind of help me keep my mind focused on work. I mean, of course, you're at office most of the time, so you focus on the work and also make sure there's something to munch, and that's one way you can stay out of it. Um, the other times that other option that you can try is go and talk to some friend who's a non-smoker, or a colleague, and talk to him about. Tell people that, hey, I'm trying to quit smoking, so don't call me out when you go, and you want to help me and motivate me, right? Most people would be happy to, if they know that they really want to help you, so that's not a problem. You can also try out some sweets. I did that for a while. I got a heavy craving for having sweets after the nuts part was done. So the first 2 weeks was mostly into nuts, drinking a lot of water and meeting people and avoiding all the spots that I used to visit on the way from, let's say, home to office, office to home, or the spots in office where you go for smoking, and the kind of people you used to go etc. with. So I tried to avoid all of it, so that uh, the the hint part, if you kind of understood how the habit loop works, the cue, that is the hint part, and then the routine, and then the reward, right? So whenever you see the hint, that's like the corner tea shop or a friend or a situation right before the meeting or right after the meeting or right after lunch, dinner, whatever your pattern is. I was trying to avoid some of it in the initial first weeks at least, so as to not tempt myself to go and have that smoke. But that being said, after a week or two, I started feeling a little confident that yeah, it's manageable. Again, coming back, I felt a lot of pain and, let's say, physiological troubles only from the mouth perspective, mostly the gums. It's almost felt like there was some wave going on in the gum. It used to pull you in. I don't know what it was, but it was pretty hard. The brain signaling every time that oh, you go and grab a smoke. But I had to go through this pain to be able to weed off and stop this habit completely. So that's on the substitutes part. You should try it out. Again, I'm not judging you for smoking. I have been a heavy smoker, so it's just my journey of what I went through, my experiences of quitting smoking, and it's been like 124 days, maybe more, a little more than that, 123 I think. But if you are in that part, I'm just sharing my experience so that you will be better prepared as you decide on that day that you want to have your last puff or smoke. Yeah, so that's on the part. After that, I think third or fourth week, I also decided that okay, now I can't really avoid all the hints or the cues of life, because essentially, if you look at it, your entire life is surrounded with smoke, right? Almost since you've smoked for even for a few years or a few months, every single thing that you've done in your life is associated with smoking in some form, right? From the time you wake up and right from the time you go to the bed, right? So you can't really run away from reality. So I told myself, fine, it's been a couple of weeks since I've quit smoking. Now let's see how I'm going to tackle going forward. So I started taking things head on. I used to go to the same, let's say, corner tea shop in the morning and not have a smoke but have a tea and then go, right? I mean, that was one way to do it. And those things happened, and I went on a couple of trips. One was a solo bike trip, a trip with my wife for about 3 nights doing nothing. I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, so that was a very tough test I put myself through, which I came out well. The other one is within about a month's time, that was in May, I think, third week exactly. Yeah, I think May second week, exactly about a month after I had quit smoking. I went with three other families. We went to Coimbatore, and then from there we went to Pollachi and Top Slip. So we stayed in a resort for a couple of nights, and again, All my friends were drinking and a couple of them were smoking, but I didn't. So that was another test that I happened to pass, and that gives you a lot of confidence. So the brain is a good learning machine. Once it realizes that, oh, in this situation, in this particular time, you he used to do that. Now he stopped doing the same thing and he's doing something else, right? Now the brain learns that, and you just have to give it some time to forget what it was doing before, to get back to what you're going to do later. So give yourself the time. Don't scold yourself. Don't grab that cigarette again. If you do that again, the vicious cycle starts, and you will get habituated smoking, right? On this one. So coming back, now it's been what, about 125 days, and I feel good. Over the last, I think, 2 months, I have not felt like smoking. In fact, I really doubt if I would ever pick up a cigarette again, hopefully, right? But again, there's a long life ahead of me. I'm 46, maybe I'll live on till early 70s, maybe mid 70s max. So that's another 30 years of life I look forward to. I don't want to smoke. And as, incidentally, I also quit drinking on the same day. April 19th was the last time I had a drink. And finally, for the first time in life, I'm very proud to call myself a teetotaler. Ever since I went to college, that was in 1996, 97, I've been smoking, or having drinks even randomly, occasionally. Over the last few years, even the drinking frequency increased, but ever since I started working out regularly, started to eat well and sleep well, I thought I should cut down on all of these toxic habits. And what better than living a teetotaler life? It's wonderful. If you want to try it out, you can. Again, I want to give you the confidence that if I can do it, you can do it too. Don't even think that you can't. This data shows that 75% of the smokers actually want to quit, just like me and you. And so all of us liked smoking, right? I mean, I used to love smoking, and it was wonderful, that the way you light up the cigarette, or what kind of high it gives you. So that's understandable. But if you're in the thought process of, oh, why did I even pick up with the habit, like how I felt, and you want to change and you want to kick that habit, you should give a thought, be mentally prepared for what's going to come ahead of you in the near term. And yeah, I think you should be able to do it. You won't feel like, I think after a month, the first month and a half will be hard, particularly with your you'll find a lot of change in your I think gut behavior as well. Your digestions will change a little bit. You'll go through some struggle. You might have some bit of bloatings due to eating of nuts and other things, maybe sweets, etc. So you will have some changes in your ablution patterns as well. So don't worry. It's all body's adaptations to the new you, right? You haven't been having that cigarette for a while, so the body is trying to change, right from body to everything. So don't worry about it. Just tell yourself that you're reversing to how you used to be before smoking, right? You did lead a great life of maybe 15, 20 years of living with your parents and not having to smoke. It's the same way. You could just reverse it, just that the brain takes its own time. I think after a month and a half, you won't feel like smoking. Roughly, yeah, the first few weeks are hard. I think, yeah, after a month and a half, you'll get used to it. You should also remember that the brain is a great learning tool. So it obviously remembers that you used to smoke, and then when you see people who smoke in front of you, it could tempt you again. That's normal. You don't have to worry. Just follow the process. Drink, keep your nuts, sweets, whatever cravings you have. It's fine. It's essentially important that you change the routine in that habit loop of hint, right? Whenever you have the hint, try and change the routine. Instead of smoking, do something else which is less harmful, preferably, and then you hopefully you get the same dopamine hit. Maybe the sweet gives you the hit, or a sugar gives you a hit, or a chocolate, or some nuts. Hopefully nuts is a better alternative because it's healthy, contains all essential pieces of nutrients that you want. So yeah, whatever works for you, try it out. Let me know how it goes. Hopefully it will be motivating for you. I covered these things because some of my friends also asked me what was my thought process to quit smoking, what was the reason, um, and how I felt over the first maybe few months or a few weeks. I did write a blog about I think the first 10 days or 12 days after quitting smoking. I think it's there in Medium. I'll link it to the YouTube video if you want. but then I figured people don't want to read much, so I thought I'll do a um, take a shot at doing a YouTube video. I hope you like it. If you have any questions, feel free to write to me on YouTube comments or to my email address, and I'll happy to cover your questions as part of a Q&A part and in the next session too. That's about it. Thank you. Thanks for listening. See you later. Bye.